Alright, welcome back. Ohaneze Igbo election. Kanu calls for the intervention of World Igbo Congress. Alright, the news in detail. The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has unapologetically condemned in strongest terms via his Radio Biafra broadcast of Sunday 10th January 2021, the concocted Ohaneze Igbo presidential election held recently. He called it a fraud and therefore its outcome remains totally unacceptable. The IPOB leader called on the World Igbo Congress (WIC) to immediately intervene and possibly take over the Ohaneze Igbo leadership structure. Alright, Igbo is an ethnic nation in the old eastern region of Nigeria, which is today more appropriately referred to as Biafra. Okay, and then as it is, we by census represent one of the three largest ethnic groups in the country. However, Ohaneze Igbo is an apex Igbo sociocultural group going by the incontestable fact that the organization is supposed to represent all Igbo communities within and outside Nigeria. It should be recalled that Ohaneze Igbo sociocultural group was established in 1976 following the unleashed genocide committed against Biafrans by the British sustained Nigerian from 1967 to 1970. The fundamental purpose of creating this group was very unambiguously spelled out by the then well-minded prominent Igbos that conceived it. Such personalities were the likes of Professor Ben Nwabueze, Kingsley Mbadue, Dr. Kanu Ibiam, Dr. Michael Okpara, among others. The initiative to float such a sociocultural group for the overall interest of the people was very much welcomed, considering the enormous displacement of the Igbos during the war and its corresponding aftermath. Alright, let it be noted therefore that this group is not a political party. Its key objective and creation amongst others was to foster unity among its members, the Igbos, in order to adequately position them for an all-inclusive representation within the political scenario of Nigeria. Otherwise put, Ohaneze Igbo and its leadership are supposed to serve as the voice of the Igbo nation and clearly present whosoever the people overwhelmingly accept to be their representative for any political office in Nigeria. Meanwhile, it was never meant to be controlled or manipulated by the politicians. Unfortunately, following the persistent pursuit for total conquest by the Fulani oligarchy, coupled with the twin craving of gluttony and fame-mongering of the selfish and opportune Igbo politicians, the original purpose of the founding fathers premised on uprightness and purposeful leadership became disgustingly corrupted. Owing therefore to this Fulani oligarchy's quest to further disregard and disunite the Igbo nation, a letter was addressed on 26th of August 2020 to the immediate past president of Ohaneze Ndigbo, Chief Nya Nwodo, stating unequivocally that they talking about the Fulanis, were aware that Nwodo's tenure in office was ending in 5 months' time, and accordingly nominated Professor George Obiozo to succeed him. They stated in the letter that this nomination was in tandem the recommendation of the Fulani imposed administrator of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, the Fulani Socio-Cultural Association that addressed this letter turned out eventually to be Miyetti Allah Kautal, or an umbrella body of Fulani killer herdsmen in Nigeria. What a mad impunity and non-sitting enslavement. People tried to oppose this nomination but still got the shock of their lives as the same Fulani nominee, Professor George Obiozo, eventually got rigged into the office of Ohaneze Ndigbo president on Saturday night, January 2021, with the complete approval of the grossly compromised southeastern governors. It is in reactions to this disrespectful act against the sensibility of the Igbo nation that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu asked the World Igbo Congress (WIC) to courageously step forward and take over Ohaneze Ndigbo. As the largest mass freedom movement on earth, currently the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has vowed never to allow the Fulanis to dictate how our land is being governed. Alright, Biafra Igbos therefore joined their voices with that of the IPOB leader to persuasively prevail on the World Igbo Congress into doing the needful by taking off Ohaneze Ndigbo leadership from the hands of these Fulanized slave servant politicians of Igbo extractions. Alright, and that has been said so far. Okay, and then as it is, according to Onu Ikomo, he has said that the World Igbo Congress should do that immediately, and they will see the massive support of the Igbo youth. Okay, and then according to Miriam Amokuru, he has said that you are right, just that some of the Igbos are bought over. God will deliver us one day. Okay, and then that has been said so far on this one, which says Ohaneze Ndigbo election, Kanu calls for intervention of World Igbo Congress. Okay, and that has been taken so far on this one, my people. Meanwhile, let me have more take from you on this, and remember to subscribe for more updates.